Next, we have the Home Investment Partnership Program, First-Time Home Buyer Program, and an Owner-Occupied Housing Rehabilitation Program grant application.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. The item before you this evening is a request to authorize staff to submit a home grant application in the amount of $500,000 to the state of California. Simply for background purposes, the program itself, it's primarily oriented for first-time home buyers and owner-occupied rehab. However, there's another clause that also allows tenant-based rental assistance through the program. Just in terms of a broad overview, the different programs that the city currently offers for potential first-time home buyers or for owner-occupied rehab programs, the city does have 4 active programs. This past year or a couple of months ago, the council approved the city's action plan. Within that action plan, there was a proposal to allocate $100,000 through the CDBG program, which would be eligible for either first-time home buyers or for owner-occupied rehabs. So those funds are available today, and that would be for the fiscal year 2018 to 2019. The city also has approximately $310,000 available today through the home program, and those $310,000 were accumulated over time. So as the city provides loans, as those loans are paid back to the city over time, those dollars are placed into a pot of funds, and then the city reuses those dollars or recycles those dollars back to new applicants. So we do have a balance in that account today of $310,000. We have another fund, which is called the Cow Home Program, and that's the reuse fund, and there's roughly $69,000 in that account. So again, those dollars were dollars that were paid back to the city that we in turn use again to put back out to the community. And then we have a 4th program called the 11 Cow Home Program, which has approximately $40,000. So total right now, the city does have roughly $518,000. If we're awarded this grant amount, then obviously that would put us at about $1 million for eligible programs. In terms of this specific program, the Cow Home Program, which is the second line item there, which currently has an income of $310,000, just for historical perspective, the city has approximately $5.1 million in active loans today, and that's amongst 46 active loans. So that doesn't include all the loans that the city's historically provided. However, there are 46 active loans. The oldest loans, I think, goes back to 1994. The most recent was a couple of months ago. So the loans themselves range between $7,000 and $1.1 million. However, 43 of the 46 loans were made to individuals or to couples. There were 3 loans that were made for apartments, and the 3 apartments are the larger loans. So there are a couple of large loans, again, the highest being about a 1.1 million. There's another one that's about $1 million. But for the most part, if you take a look at the loan amounts, they range between $15,000 and about $75,000. That's the vast majority of the 43 loans. So with that being said, this evening staff is recommending that the council authorize staff to submit a grant application in the amount of $500,000 to the state for home funds. Staff is anticipating hearing a response from the state about December of this year to see if we are awarded the funds. So with that being said, that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. For council, any questions, comments, motion? Yeah.
Arnaldo, how does an individual come into be aware of the availability of those loans, and how do we reach out to them? And what's the eligibility criteria?
So one of the things that the city does is we partner with the Housing Authority. We also partner with Habitat for Humanity. A lot of people historically have gone through the Housing Authority because they're participants, or the Housing Authority reaches out to the local real estate community, to local mortgage brokers, to advertise our program. Prior to the Housing Authority being on board, which occurred about October of 2016, or 2015. Prior to that, the city was using an outside firm from the Sacramento area. We felt at the time that that we needed a change to have a much more local presence, and since then, I feel that we've made significant progress in providing more loans than we were prior to that. Can we do better? Absolutely, and that's a job that both the city and the Housing Authority are dedicated to truly partnering and trying to reach different target groups in our community. That initially, again, going back to about 2015, that was one of the challenges that, quite frankly, it flew under the radar.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Question?
If you have one
Did-
still.
Go ahead and finish.
I'm done.
You're done.
Okay.
If you have a question, I was going to make a motion. If you don't
Yeah,
have
through
a
the mayor,
question.
you can do the motion, but I have a question regarding the loans themselves. Are they on a time, if you repay them back within a certain time? Is there restrictions to where if you pay it back too soon, like 15 years or something? Because I'm familiar with somebody that ended up kind of got caught within a faux pas or whatever you want to call it on this. How is this designed to where those types of things are less likely to happen?
So I think the Housing Authority, and I'm looking at Becky Flores, she may be the best person to answer. If you wouldn't mind coming on up.
Absolutely, because I know she was involved with the original one I'm talking about too. But it doesn't, and it's a caution for the future.
Thank you. I'm Becky Flores with the Regional Housing Authority, and on behalf of the city, we administer this program for the residents of Yuba City. I should say these programs because it includes both single-family rehab for low-income owner-occupants and also first-time homebuyer program for low-income homebuyers. So I think Councilmember Cleveland, you're talking about the first-time homebuyer program and how those loans get repaid. The term on those are typically 30 years. There were some design elements in the program in the past where if you repaid the loan within a certain time frame, there was a split if there was any equity in the home, and that has kind of been phased out. So now it's just simple interest. You pay 3% interest and you can sell at any time and pay off within the 30 years and just calculate 3% simple interest on the principal. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm available for any other questions if you have any.
Thank you, Becky. Any other
It's
questions?
nice to see that it was cleaned up, the process.
Any questions or a motion?
I move to approve staff recommendation.
Okay, do we
Second.
have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Great, thank you.